Well, as we get out here and starting off our steer showmanship, a really good group of kids in this particular age division, and all done a pretty nice job. And always remember, kids, for me, when it comes to showmanship, your first job is to present your calf and make sure they're set up and looking as good as they possibly can for that specific animal. And then secondly, presenting yourself. And that's just the way I approach it. And that comes into play in a few spots here, just making sure those feet and legs are where they're supposed to be, and make sure you check them, because we all know that particularly that show side back leg, depending on the size of your animal, sometimes they can move it and you might can't see it, so you need to make sure you're checking that as we go through the particular class, and just stay on top of that. Inevitably, especially later in the day, they're going to move around. That's going to happen, but how you react to it and adjust and correct is what makes a difference, and can definitely help you out in showmanship. So again, great job with these kids. I'm going to go select your champion and reserve. Let's give them a big round of applause for their efforts out here today.
Could we have all of those Division II and Division III showmen go ahead and be making their way to the makeup ring? Congratulations to our champion Division I showman, Miss Bristol Holloway, and our reserve, Brooklyn Thomas. They'll come back to show for Supreme Market Animal Showmanship at the conclusion of the last division.
just three in this division of showmanship, but three really good kids out here doing a great job, and it really gets nitpicky on what sorts them, because I think all of them are doing a pretty good job getting them set up, and then the next job is presenting yourself and your engagement. I'm not a big question showmanship guy. When it comes to cattle, I'll ask some just basic stuff, but don't get carried away there. I'm more about how they present their animal and present themselves. So three really good kids here. I'm going to give them just another second. Let's give them a big round of applause, and I'll show you your champions.
Let's congratulate our champion Division II showman, Seth Chunglo, and reserve Hadley Webb. If we can now have those Division III exhibitors entering the ring. 3A. Division 3A, excuse me. Exhibitors born from 2007 to 2009.
Well, as we get out here in this particular division, there's two classes, so just going to pull a few and let them come back out of this heat. These two young men on my left are going to get to come back, and you know, it's not to take anything away from these folks on the rail. You know, some of them's cattle are getting tired and not cooperating. That makes it tough as well. You know, fundamentally, I think all of them have feet and legs pretty close where they need to be. They get heavy-headed at times. We got to get their heads up. But also maybe just slowing down with the stick. And even though, remember this, kids, that judge may be walking up, that's no reason to start really sawing on them. Just take your time, nice and easy. They're going to give you a chance to get the, you know, whatever adjustments you need if you're working on them when they walk up. Just get it done and make eye contact with them. But again, just don't get too antsy. Take it nice and easy and calm. The more relaxed you are, the more relaxed your calf's going to stay. So a really good group here. We're going to keep these two young men back and bring in the next heat. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Again, a really tough division of showmen here, and there's some give and take, and you know what they're doing. Again, it comes to presenting your calves at this age, probably presenting yourself even more because most people have the fundamentals down, and just being nice and hooked up. And I'll tell you, I kind of like it when showmanship's after the show because I pay attention to how kids are showing throughout the day, and to me, a good showman, they turn it on every time they hit the ring, and they don't quit till they leave. That was one of the things that impressed me about these young ladies is they did a nice job. They'll be coming back. But kids, great job. Let's give them a big round of applause for their efforts out here today.
We're now showing for champion Division III market showman. If those Division IVs would please be in the makeup ring on deck.
Really good group of kids here in this, I believe, third division. Those two heats were awfully deep and good, and these two came out of each heat, or these four, excuse me, two out of each class. And I think it shows. Really good showmen. Fundamentally, I think they do a lot of the right things. And again, it comes back to consistency and doing a good job, but having your ring presence and knowing what's going on and knowing your cattle. I did ask them, you know, if you'd change anything about your calf, what would you change? Because I think that's important anytime, but also important in showmanship because sometimes we can either show off some of their power and positives or we can try to show some of their defaults out of them. So keep that in mind. And to me, that's something that was important in this group because they all do a really nice job on the halter. I'm going to go show you the champions. If you would, let's give all four of these kids a big round of applause.
Congratulations to our champion Division III showman Will Beckley and our reserve Kyra Moore. Okay. We're now showing Division 4 showman, and following this, we'll do the selection of our Supreme Market Animal showman, and then 10 minutes following that will be the start of Heifer Showmanship this afternoon.
Get here to this last division and these seniors in showmanship, and you would expect it they would be some of the toughest, and that's not always the case, but out here today I think it is. I think there's some exceptional showmen in this group that to me just do an awesome job, did throughout the day, but kept it trucking. Again, true professionals that could stick anywhere, anytime, and do an outstanding job presenting their animals and themselves. So let's give them a big round of applause, and I'll go select your champion reserve.
Congratulations to our champion Division 4 showman Michaela Massey and our reserve Brianna Smith. We're now showing for the Supreme Market Animal Showman.
Well, I won't belabor this anymore. Again, 4 excellent showmen. I would let one of these kids, any of them, stick for me anytime at any national or any level of show, whether it's national or not, because they do a great job fundamentally getting those cattle set up and presented, and then obviously showing themselves off, and that's important. The engagement with the judge. It's a fine line between intensity and overdoing it. It's like I tell kids, I want intensity, I don't want intimidation. I don't like showmen necessarily that look mad at me. Maybe after I place them, they can look that way, but I hope they don't. But I want them intense, and I think you've got some really intense kids. They've had a long day, still getting after it. Love the competition. To me, there's one of these showmen, just exceptional job, but all 4 of them are extremely good. Let's give them a big round of applause, and I'll show you your Supreme Champion Showman.
Congratulations to the Supreme Market Animal Showman, Michaela Massey. We have one update on the Heifer Showmanship this afternoon. Due to a few issues, we're going to start it at 1:30 this afternoon. As we get started with our Heifer Showmanship this morning, I want to go ahead and introduce our judges. Over here in the East Ring, to my right, your guys' left, we have Miss Ravenna Bloomberg sorting through your Heifer Showmanship on this side. Ravenna grew up in a central Nebraska on a diversified livestock operation, and her passion for the livestock industry led her to go to Blackhawk East College and then Oklahoma State University, where she was a member of the livestock judging teams at both and was named an All-American both at junior college and the university level. Ravenna has judged major shows in over 25 states, and she enjoys spending time evaluating livestock and working with youth in agriculture. And personally, she and her husband Blake live in Secor, Illinois, and they have 4 children, Brecken, Brenham, Berwick, and Bexton, who are actively showing through 4-H. Let's go ahead and welcome Ravenna Bloomberg to sort our showmanship today. And in the West Ring over here, sorting through the even-numbered divisions, we have Lucas Wisniewski sorting through those participants on that side. He's from Wyoming, Illinois, and he attended Blackhawk College and then transferred to Oklahoma State as well. While at Oklahoma State, he was a member of the national champion livestock judging team. And after graduation, he's returned home to Cardinal Cattle Company with his dad, where they run a 300-head cow-calf operation. And they have an annual bred heifer sale the second Saturday in September, and they also have an annual bull sale the first Saturday in February. Let's go ahead and welcome Lucas Wisniewski to sort our show in the West Ring. Just a reminder to the exhibitors, if you could please have your back tag numbers both on the front and the back and the proper back tags for showmanship identification, that would be great. if we could go ahead and have those Division 1B and Division 2B exhibitors going ahead and lining up in the makeup ring.
Over here on this side, the first class of showmanship. I think the kids all did a really good job. I'm going to bring these 4 individuals over here on the back side back for the next round. Let's give them all a nice round of applause. Congratulations.
Well, good afternoon. It's sure a pleasure for me to be here and sort through your showmanship today and your heifer shows tomorrow. I know Lucas and I have been looking forward to this. We've been talking about, we know there's going to be good cattle, but we knew there was going to be good showmen when we came to Kentucky as well. And in the first class here, I think that that's evident. I pulled back 3 showmen that I think are just a little bit smoother, a little bit more efficient in terms of getting the job done out here for me. And I tried to go through and kind of share a few little tips and suggestions to some of these other showmen as well. I think they do a really nice job. Showmanship's always so subject to personal opinion, but I think all these kids have been working hard. You can tell they put a lot of effort forth into coming to the state fair and showcasing what they were able to do. So if you would, please put your hands together for all these exhibitors out here in the ring as they exit for us today.
Over here on the west side, we got our second class, our second heat of. We got our second heat of individuals in here. I'm going to keep these two here on this side, and we'll bring them back for our final. These kids all did a really nice job. Let's give them another big round of applause.
We're now showing for champion Division II showman in the west ring.
Well, what an awesome group of showmen that we have out here in this particular drive. I pulled back several that we're going to rework through just because I think that this group was really, really deep. A lot of good ones out here fighting to be on top. And I hope that the kids that are going to exit here in just a minute don't get too discouraged because like I told a couple of them, this is a competitive group, a really stout group in terms of the skill set and ability that they have. And they were just right there on the cuff in terms of being able to be called back and work themselves into the top end here that we're going to resort in just a minute. But again, my compliments to them. You can tell they've been working hard. I think we got a great set over here that we're going to bring back into our finals. If you would, please put your hands together for all these showmen.
We're now showing for champion Division 1 showman in the East Ring. If those Division 3A exhibitors would please start lining up at the makeup ring. Could also the Division 4A exhibitors please start lining up at the makeup ring on the west side, please?
Over here on this side in our champion Division 2, I think these 6 individuals all have done a very, very good job. I think there's 2 out here that come for me to do the things right. I'm going to get you a champion in a reserve. I'm going to select the champion first. Let's give all these kids a big, nice round of applause. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations to our Division II showman. Your champion will be Quentin Ray. Reserve was Emily Jeffries. Third, Tucker Metzger. Fourth, Eleanor Marksberry. And fifth, Oliver Gripshover. Division 4A is now exhibiting in the West Ring.
Well, what a great group of young showmen that we have over here on this side. If you would, please put your hands together for these young exhibitors. They're doing an outstanding job out here. You can tell there was a lot of time and preparation that's got into this, and the ones that we brought back out here into our finals, they have that look that this means something to them, and it should. And that's part of what showmanship's about, I think, is the young individuals that have put in the effort, and this means something to them. I know with my kids at home, that's something that I always stress to them. I'm like, you got to want it. You got to go out there, and you got to want it if you expect anything to happen. And you can tell that all of these kids out here have been on the top end of showmanship drives before, and they wanted it, and they came to play today. So my congratulations to all of them. There were some subtle differences as we worked from fourth on down over here along the rail, and I kind of went through and maybe shared a few things that I could say maybe would help elevate them a spot or two out here today. But I hope as they leave the ring, they're able to find their parent or their mentor or a breeder or somebody to really give them some further critiques, because that's how we all get better, is those little things that help progress us, the fine-tuning and nitpicking at those things that we can do better, especially at this age. But I will say that this group out here is very impressive. They're ones that have the basics down. They know what they're trying to accomplish. They get it done very well. The thing that I have left out here in the center of the ring, I think, are just next tier in terms of putting those extra skills on top of those basics. They have that look and that desire that I like to see in their eyes. They have those heifers trained. They come out here, they know what they're trying to accomplish. They get them parked, they get them set, and if something's a little bit off, they're paying attention to those details and they're getting it fixed, and they're getting it fixed fast. That's what I like to see in a good showman. Showmanship to me is about somebody that can get that animal presented, can make sure that the judge is getting as good a look as possible, and then aside from that, there's somebody that's out here that makes you look at their animal. And I think that these exhibitors have some of those extras that made me want to look at what they were presenting out here. So my compliments to them. It comes down to some subtle differences to kind of talk about them briefly before I name you our champion out here. Young lady with the baldy on the end, I think, does an outstanding job. I love the intensity and the look in her eye. I can tell that she's put in some effort. She has that fire to her that I say that I can identify with some of my own kids. You can tell she means business. She came out here with a goal in mind, and she's working hard to get that done. There's a few times maybe that she had to work just a little bit harder to get that heifer set, but again, she's paying attention to those details, and she's getting it done out here. Young lady circling around right now in terms of calm and cool and collected. I love her demeanor. I love the fact that I pay attention to the heifer more than I do her, and I think that's the mark of a good showman sometimes. She's really laid back. She gets that animal looking its best, walks it into position at nearly every time, and then just kind of blends back and lets the heifer showcase herself. There's a few times maybe from an eye contact or intensity standpoint, maybe not quite as strong, but in terms of getting that animal to look its best, boy, she's on the money here today. Young man here with the Hereford heifer, I think, does an outstanding job. When he came through into within the drive, he was locked in on me. He never lost sight of me. He made sure that heifer looked really, really good. He pulled her in, got her parked regardless of where he was at on the ring, and he continued to work at it. There's maybe a few times that she wanted to get a little bit underneath herself, just pay a few more attention to some subtle little things if she's wanting to get a little bit crossed there on her back legs. But again, in terms of his intensity and his eye contact, he's a force to be reckoned with out here as well. I think all of these exhibitors do an outstanding job. I'm going to go out and shake the hand of your champion, second and then third. If you would, please put your hands together for all these exhibitors one more time.
Congratulations to those Division I exhibitors. Your champion is Ann Lawrence Allen. Reserve goes to Levi Womack. Third is Sadie Jackson. Fourth is Craig Pico. And fifth, Lakin Martin. If Division IIIA exhibitors are now entering the ring on the east side.
Over here on this side, this side, these individuals we got here in the senior division all do a really good job. Just some things in terms of having your calf's feet in the right space, in the right spot, and knowing where I am in the ring all the time are the reason we go ahead. And I'm going to pull these four over here on this side back for the championship. Let's give all these exhibitors a nice big round of applause. Congratulations.
another really good group over here. I got 3 individuals that we'll bring back. We move up to a little bit older age group, so maybe I expect just a little bit more, but at the same time, I'm going to go through and probably offer a few more challenges for you guys to continue to work on over the mic instead of individually. But I would say as a whole, this is a good group of showmen. They're ones that know what they're trying to accomplish out here. Some of these heifers maybe aren't behaving the best for them, maybe kind of wanting to toss their head and throw them around just a little bit, but you can tell that especially the ones that we're pulling back here into our finals, they're able to work through some of those challenges. They're able to get the job done effectively. I'd say as a whole to some of the rest of these, maybe just a little bit more effort in terms of walking that heifer into place so you don't have to do as much stick work. That's always a benefit, especially in showmanship. If you can get them parked fast to get those good looks, not have to be doing a lot of messing with the stick, it'll also kind of decrease on how many times you got to kind of circle around. So those are just kind of a few little shares of things that I would suggest to work on down the road. But a great group of kids. If you would, please put your hands together for these exhibitors as they exit the ring.
Over here on the senior side again, I think all of these exhibitors do a really nice job. This is definitely a bigger heat and a bigger class to go ahead and sort through, and I think the talent at the top, I think the talent in these individuals that I'm going to go ahead and keep on this side are very, very good. I want to just where I want to change some of these guys is critique them in terms of where they need to do things a little different. For my personal preference is just as a senior, you should be able to get your calf walked into and set up right away. Very quick and very efficiently, and then find me in the ring and know where I'm at, but have yourself in the proper distance away from the calf. I thought that's where these 4 individuals did a really nice job. Go ahead and give them all a nice big round of applause. We'll bring these 4 back for the final. Congratulations.
Would the Division 4A finalists please come in for the Division 4 championship drive in the West Ring?
Well, what a great group that we have over here. I kept back probably a few too many, but I think that they're deserving to get to come back out here and showcase what they can do for us in a final drive here in just a little bit, because I think that all of these exhibitors that I pulled over here ringside have some ability. They have some extras to them that I'm looking for in terms of demeanor and their smoothness and the way that they get those animals set. I gravitate towards them. They're my style. They're ones that I want to see come back. There's some little things, yes, maybe a little bit of some personality adjustments on these heifers need to take place before they come back, but they're ones that know what they're doing and they work at it. And that's not to take anything away from those that are going to go ahead and exit that are over here in the center of the ring. I think they're ones that have some basics down, and I appreciate their relaxed attitude out here. A few times when we're bringing them around, especially on a profile instance, maybe just not quite as quick in terms of getting them set, getting those good looks out of them, and paying attention to that those feet are staying where they want them to, and that I'm getting as good a view as possible of those particular heifers. So if you would, please put your hands together for all these exhibitors as they exit the ring. Really deep, high quality class of showmanship here.
We're now showing Division 3C in the East Ring, and would all those finalists from Division 3A and 3B please be on deck for Division 3 championship following this class.
Well, another good group over here. Maybe one that for me kind of sorted a little bit quicker, just on the basics of intensity and desire out here. Heifers that really have been worked with and walked into position. Those exhibitors really knew what they were doing to get them to stop exactly how they wanted to and be able to maintain that eye contact and that presence out here in the ring that I really identify with. Those that are going to exit here, I think, do a great job. You can tell that they definitely have been through this before. They probably had their fair share of success at one point in time in different showmanship avenues, but today they run into a competitive group here, and there was maybe a time or two they weren't as efficient in terms of getting them set. Maybe we just kind of fall out of place just a little bit in terms of the lineup, maybe lost track of me a time or two as well. So those were just kind of some of the little things that maybe fell short on their end. But again, a great group, so if you would, please put your hands together for these exhibitors.
Well, let's give all these senior exhibitors a big round of applause because they do an excellent job out here. The four I've got over here in the middle, I've taken my time and I've worked all of them a little extra, but I've really worked these four a little longer, just trying to see who's going to falter first because I think they all do an excellent job. I think as a whole, just getting them to set up and getting their calf and having the presence and the composure and still knowing where I'm at in the ring and being able to present the calf and make them look the best they can. They're doing an excellent job at that. I'm going to take one more look and decide who's going to be my champion and get them placed. Give them a nice big round of applause. Congratulations again.
Congratulations to Division 4 champion showman Brianna Smith. Reserve was Michaela Massey. Third, Lily Jeffries. Fourth, Micah Malone. And fifth, Madeline Ethington. Following the conclusion of the Division 3 championship selection, we will be showing for Supreme Heifer Showman.
What a great group of showmen that we got out here. If you would, let's put our hands together for an incredible division here. Lots of talent, lots of ability, very evident within this group of young people, especially those that we've brought back here to our finals. It gets down to some nitpicky things, and I know that there's some of you that are disappointed over here on the rail because this is something that is important to you. You care about this or you wouldn't be out here, and you're doing most everything right. And so it just comes down to some little things, a little bit of personal opinion, but my compliments to you because you're exceptional showmen. You deserve to be out here, and it just came down to some little things that maybe I caught that wasn't my speed or something that I kind of nitpick on, whether it's pace in terms of leading them, hand, where you hold on to the stick, where you hold on to the halter, some of those little nitpicky things that I think when you get this competitive, those things can kind of be a deal breaker here or there. But again, my compliments to all of you. You're obviously very seasoned, you're professionals at what you do, and you deserve some extra recognition for that. I think we had 6 that I re-racked around here that were just the next tier, and the 3 that I have left out here I think could show cattle for me any day because they're the ones that just put everything together in terms of basics, and then they pile on some of that extra, that charisma, that look, and that eye contact out here that makes me want to follow everything that they're doing. They draw me into that animal. They're efficient in terms about getting them set. They make sure that they get every good look possible out of them. If they got to work at it a little bit harder, they work at it. If that animal's posed and poised at the right time, they leave it alone. They know exactly what they're trying to accomplish out here, and they do an outstanding job. They're different styles, no doubt, and I have no problem with that. I think good showmen can come in lots of different variations, but the point of what they're doing out here all comes down to the same thing. And so I think that's where showmanship can vary just a little bit. I think it's sometimes when you get set that you got to be a certain style or a certain level of intensity or a certain type one way or another. But to me, a good showman is one that knows what they're trying to accomplish, and they don't give up until that happens. And so my compliments to these 3 on just having that extra look, that extra drive in them. They can tell there's been a lot of hours put in at home. They do an outstanding job out here. I think that as the drive wore on, there was one to me that I just kept coming back to in terms of elevating themselves to the forefront of this group as just having everything extra that I'm looking for, still being poised. That heifer doesn't move. Young lady on the far end is going to be your champion out here. If you would, congratulate her. From there, I think it gets us a little bit closer. Again, they're a little bit different in terms of the looks that I get from second and third. I think that they both have an enormous amount of ability. You can tell that they've done this before. They know what they're trying to accomplish. And again, subtle differences, personal opinion. Showmanship is so hard from that standpoint, and that's something I reiterate with my kids over and over, that you can be the best prepared, you can be the most ready, you and your animal can work together the best you possibly can on that given day, and there's still an element of luck, right? And so everything just has to go right. I got to be able to catch all those good things that you're doing, maybe don't notice any flaws that might happen while you're in the ring. But again, I think both of these young people do an outstanding job. The one that I'm drawn to just a little bit more in terms of intensity, in terms of fire, in terms of paying attention to those details. Young man's going to be reserved. Young lady here is going to be third. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the Division III showman. Your champion was Grayson Ruber. Reserve was Brady Applegate. Third, Ashlyn Pop. Fourth, Colby Cooper. And fifth, TJ Wynell. We'll be showing for your Supreme Heifer showman in the East Ring over here. So go ahead and be lining those up in the makeup ring.
All right, fun stuff happening out here. So if you're still ringside, please put your hands together for these showmanship winners of these different age divisions. A really nice lineup out here, and I know that there was a number of exhibitors that came through both Lucas and I's rings that have a lot of potential, a lot of promise, and a lot of ability, but it's these four that surfaced to the top, and I hope that all four of these, even though we're only selecting one today to be your overall champion, I hope all four of these leave here knowing they were the best of the best when it counted in their age group, because they are very good. There were ones that beat out a lot of good competition. They're ones that deserve to be out here, and so even if they're one of the three that doesn't get that extra banner when they leave here today, I hope they know that Lucas and I think that they're very good at what they do. They're very accomplished. They put in the work that it took to get out here, and they deserve that extra credit. So my compliments to all four of you guys on doing an outstanding job. I mentioned a little bit earlier that showmanship can be subjective, but at the same time, I think it can be very rewarding, and it's something that with my own kids at home, we focus on this. This is something that even though in the final end there's a lot of things that are out of your control, it's one thing that your ability and your work ethic and how you go about getting that animal presented, that's something that you always have a little bit of control over. So I compliment all of these exhibitors on working hard, making sure that they're doing everything possible to get the most out of those heifers, so when it comes show day, they've left nothing out. They make sure that those judges get the looks that they need to have, and they put it all out there. These four showmen are exceptional. I think within their each age division, they surface to the top because they had those extras. And as we bring the four back out here, Lucas and I were talking, they all have strengths. They all have stuff that they offer to us out here from a showmanship standpoint that really make them unique and good at what they do. As we get together and kind of talk a little bit more, we think it comes down between a pair of them that are just a little bit different. One's a little bit more aggressive, one's a little bit more relaxed, but I tell you what, you could stick either one of these on the end of something and know it's going to get shown right. And so that's kind of the differences that we see. It's personal opinion. We kind of talked through it. We land on the same one in terms of being just a notch smoother, just a little bit more relaxed, a little bit quicker in terms of getting some of those things done, but then at the same time making sure that we're noticing the animal more than them at times, just somebody that we think is pretty fault-free in terms of their ability out here. I'm going to let Lucas go out and select your champion, but if you would, please put your hands together one more time on an exceptional group of division winners.
Congratulations to your 2024 Supreme Breeding Heifer Showman, Brianna Smith.